And so I says to him, "That's not my wife, that's the mailman." Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to Nerd Explosion, the weekly podcast where based on a monthly theme we nerd out about whatever we want. I'm Tam.
I'm Kate.
And we are continuing Reddit month today by going through Best of Redditor Updates. Now, this episode is special because it's filmed in front of a live studio Trisha.
A live studio Trisha.
For context, our friend Trisha's in the same room with us too. Kinda ignoring us, but not really. But no, she's just here to witness the chaos and the buffoonery that, we do on a weekly basis. But yeah, today I figured a good Reddit to go through is Best of Redditor Updates. Now, this is a subreddit where basically people take stories posted on other subreddits along with updates and just put it all in one consistent post. And I only have two here, but I figure, two is probably good because these tend to be a little longer. So, hopefully
we get updates of stories we've covered previously or no?
They didn't look like anything I've looked at or seen before or read before. So these might be intriguing. So are you ready? Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, new episodes of this podcast come out every Saturday, yada, 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 social medias and whatnot. But let's get into some Best of Redditor updates. All right, you ready for this first story, Kate?
Yep.
So this first one was originally posted in r/credit store.
Okay.
And the title of it is, "Parents opened up several credit cards in my name while I was away at college. They racked up more than $15,000 in debt, and now they want to kick me out because I brought it up."
I would commit a crime.
So this is the original post from May 9th, 2024. "I guess this is a lesson in paying attention to my finances. After having just finished my freshman year of college, I came back to my parents' house for the summer. My mom made it a habit on Monday/Tuesday to make sure she got the mail before I had a chance, even running from the kitchen Tuesday to make sure I didn't get it as I was expecting an Amazon order. Today, the mail came kind of early and there was a letter from a collection agency addressed to me. I only knew it was a collection agency once I opened it and discovered I supposedly owed nearly $5,000 on a Capital One card I had no idea I was ever signed up for. Once I got done freaking out, I called my dad at work and asked him what to do. It was weird when he said to talk to my mother about it. He didn't seem happy at all, but I didn't think much of it. Once my mom got home, I asked her about it, and she said her and my dad opened up a few credit cards in my name for household expenses. She said she thinks I owe around $10,000 to 3 different credit card companies. I checked my credit and it turns out I owe over $15,000. We ended up having a huge argument about it, with my mom saying her parents did this to her when she was 18. She said I could file for bankruptcy and that it wouldn't hurt me because I wouldn't be trying to buy a house for several years. I'm interested in going into a government-related job, and a bankruptcy would probably disqualify me for it. She knows this, but it doesn't seem like she cares. My dad got home a couple hours ago, and they talked to me together. Either I can declare bankruptcy once they spend up to the credit limit of the last card with any credit on it, or they said I can move out at the end of the month. It just feels like it's incredibly unfair because it doesn't sound like bankruptcy will actually do anything for my credit and probably sink my job opportunities. How can I get my credit score back to where it was, which was around 720? And how can I get this to not affect my credit going forward?" Okay, first of all...
So what you need to do is hire a lawyer immediately, and I would commit crimes. That would piss me off.
I would commit several crimes if I found that out. So not only did you basically steal my identity to open up credit cards.
Yeah, it's identity fraud.
It's identity
100%.
fraud. But also now you're putting me thousands of dollars in debt.
And I like how they said, "Oh, you owe this much money." Be like, the bitch, where?
You open the cards, you owe this money.
Right. Well, and it sounds to me like since OP said her mom or their mom did this to the mom or whatever, it sounds like the reason they had to open all these credit cards under the kid was because their credit score was fucked. Because once you go through bankruptcy, I mean, we've never had to file bankruptcy, but once you go through that, it takes a long time for your credit to get anywhere close to good.
Oh, plus, and the thing of bankruptcy now has no relevance, but now that I'm thinking about it, there was a whole thing with Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy, and I think a lot of people don't realize what bankruptcy actually is.
It just says that you can't pay your outstanding debt, essentially.
Yeah, and they give you tools to like restructure your debt.
Right.
It's not just I have no money, I'm poor now.
Yeah, like you still have to pay something.
But also, this court, they said that the credit score was around 720. Ooh, fancy pants, Rich McGee over here. Fuck you. Some highlighted comments here. That's identity theft. It's 100%. A felony. The ball is in your court. You could easily have them arrested, and you can lien their property. Another comment says, not sure if this is another comment, but I'll write this out. 1, fuck these pieces of shit. You owe them nothing now. This is an egregious betrayal of you as a person.
For real?
They are trading your financial future for some new shit in their house. Fuck them. 2, you are a tenant and they can't just kick you out. They have to evict you. If they change the locks, throw your stuff away, or anything like that, call the police for an illegal eviction. 3, absolutely record the next conversation you have on the subject. Use the voice recorder on your phone, but record the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, go to the police and file a police report with the evidence. It will be able to be removed from your credit and hopefully land them with some jail time and a big fine, hopefully.
Oh, absolutely. This is what you have an ironclad case here. 100%.
5, fuck these people. I have 3 kids and I can't imagine ever stealing from them. So this was May 9th, right?
Of this year?
This is the original post was May 9th, 2024.
Okay. So like last month.
Yeah. So 1 month later, there's an update.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Update. I ended up taking the advice of the vast majority of people here, and I filed a police report.
Thank God.
The officer took some printouts of everything as evidence. Once I had the report, I called all the places listed on my report and gave them the report number. The 3 credit card companies all took it and were pretty cool with it. The collection agency wanted me to make a goodwill payment so they could start investigating my claim that it was fraudulent. They said they could still sue me, even with a police report, if I didn't cooperate with their fraud report. I refused, obviously, as I don't want them to be able to take money out of my bank account.
Also, I don't think that they can actually sue you.
I never told my parents that I went to the police, and for a couple of weeks they had no idea. Right after Memorial Day, they received a call from a detective, and everything blew up. After the call, they began screaming at me, and my dad started literally throwing my things out the door. I called the police at that time, and they showed up and told my parents if they wanted me to leave, they would have to evict me. I came home from work the next day, and the locks were changed. I called the police again, and my parents refused to open the door and said all my stuff was at my grandparents' house. I received another report number for the unlawful eviction, which I was told was a civil issue, and got my stuff from my grandparents. Luckily, I have a friend with a couple of spare bedrooms, and she said I'm welcome to stay with her for a couple of months. I'm scheduled to move into my own place in about a week. Once I get a full tally of the total cost of everything, including the moving, I'll be filing a civil lawsuit against my parents for the unlawful eviction. I was told by the same detective my parents didn't seem very truthful with anything, and the state's attorney's office will be in contact in the next few weeks regarding identity theft charges. He said he believes they will likely prosecute, possibly as soon as this week. If that's the case, or more likely just my mom, will be issued a warrant and have to spend at least a night in jail. No matter what, I feel as though I made the right choice.
Absolutely, you did 100,000%.
Yeah, I mean, good thing OP follow the advice of people, and they're like, yeah, you should definitely file a lawsuit.
Especially since, I mean, collections agencies are just a demonic entity onto their own. But especially since you filed the police report, you sent that police report number to the creditors, like the actual banks that these cards are from, and it sounds like they took care of it so that it shouldn't have any long-lasting effects on the credit score.
Yeah,
because if they can wipe that away as fraud, I mean, it's like it never happened then, essentially.
Well, there's a comment down here that
very blatant, by very basic understanding.
There's a comment down here that somebody was, quoting the part where they said the collection agency wanted them to make a goodwill payment, and they reply with, "I feel like this is a trap by the collection agency so they can claim original OP had a history of paying the bill and therefore being on the hook for the entire debt, but I'm not
that's
familiar
100%
with how
what it is.
work. So yeah, they basically wanted to get some money so that they can try to trap you.
Yeah, because then they can take that to the courts and be like, no, see, look, they made a payment. They're responsible for all of it.
But good thing OP was just like, nah.
Nay.
There's no more updates on that, but it sounds like they've got everything figured out, and hopefully everything works out for them.
Today's the 19th of June.
And this update was the 10th. So this was 9 days ago.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe we should like flag that one. There might be an update in the future.
Let me see.
Favorite it, or I don't know how Reddit works.
I'm gonna go to their profile. Let's see if I can find anything. Never mind, it's been suspended.
Oh.
So I guess we're not getting an update anytime soon. Another update anytime soon.
Well, I mean, so they posted that on the 10th.
The original post was the 9th, and the update came June 10th.
Yeah, so literally 9 days ago. So they may be in court or starting the court proceedings now.
Yeah, so...
Especially if they said that they're thinking they're going to prosecute as early as this week.
And if they feel like updating it, maybe they'll have to make another account and then find this post and be like, hey, I made the original post, here's blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But also I could see them, just not posting it and trying to deal with it themselves, which I do hope everything works out for them, and fuck those parents.
Literally, don't steal. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions suffer every year.
Yeah, like that shit can ruin you financially. Like, don't.
Yeah, no
don't
kidding.
Do that.
No kidding. All right.
Next story.
Last story. Because I only had 2 of these. So this might be a short episode, depending on how long this one goes. Let's see. This was originally posted to Relationship Advice. And we have a trigger warning on this. Mention of infidelity. The title is... This is a 27-year-old female. My soon-to-be husband, male 28, called me by his assistant's name during sex.
Oh, hell no.
Alright, so the original post was April 27th, 2022, so this was a couple years ago. My significant other and I have been high school sweethearts, and we are due to get married this June. We just have a chemistry that works extremely well and always did. I love him very much, and I know he loves me too, but with what he did recently, I'm having extreme doubts about his faithfulness. We are trying to get pregnant, and when we had sex a few days ago, he called me by his assistant's name right as he got off. He immediately got up and apologized and seemed extremely shocked. I was shocked too. Yeah, no kidding. I'd be too. Yeah, no kidding. After that, he has been very apologetic and seemed genuinely remorseful, but I'm having difficulty coming around to forgiving him. The way he said it, too, came across as he was thinking about her. The only other person I've told about this is my mom and dad, and she thinks that my boyfriend has or currently sleeps with his assistant and that his tongue slipped. In more ways than one, am I right? Anyway, continuing.
Proud of yourself for that?
No. I'm having doubts because now everything looks suspicious to me. He goes to Dallas once every 2 weeks and his assistant accompanies him. Those are work trips and are paid for by his company, but those are starting to look suspicious to me now. 3 months ago, I got laid off from work and he asked me if I want, I could stay at home since we were trying to have a child and I could be a stay-at-home mother. Now, I don't know if I should depend on him or try to get a job or not. My life is just filled with confusion all of a sudden. Honestly, I didn't think he would ever cheat on me, but I can't think of a reason why someone would say someone else's name after sex. His explanation is that he was thinking about work, and that's why his assistant's name slipped up. He has tried to fix things, but they don't seem enough for some reason. He told me if I want, I can go through his phone or his computer, and I did, but I didn't find anything. I want to trust him, I really do, but it feels foolish to me to do so now. My mom thinks he's 100% cheating, while my dad agrees. He also thinks that it could be a mistake, and I should make sure before I end the relationship. He does think that I should 100% be mad at him, even if it was a slip-up. I don't know what to do with us being so close to getting married. Advice, please?
Okay, I have some thoughts.
You have some thoughts?
So, I could go either way. My initial gut reaction is to think it genuinely was just a slip up. Because immediately he was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why that happened. Go through my phone, go through my computer. Like, he's apologetic. He's not acting shady. It doesn't sound like. He was immediately caught off guard. I mean, she even said he seemed surprised that it happened. And there are times where even in intimate moments, part of your brain is somewhere else completely. So I can see that happening. I can see him thinking about work and then just kind of overlapping the two. But also he 100% could be cheating too. I mean, it just...
I was gonna say, I was thrown off by the, thinking of work during sex, but with what you said, yeah, it does make sense. Your mind can wander a little bit. I mean, typically, it shouldn't, but, it happens.
Right.
It happens to everyone. Let's see. Some relevant comments on here. Well, I can tell for sure that if he works with... Okay, hold on, my brain had to reset to read this comment. Well, I can tell for sure if he works with college a lot, it can happen. I think they meant to say if he works with that colleague a lot. If he works with that colleague. I'm guessing English wasn't this person's first language. Basically they're saying their a random name pops into their head that, that could be.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've seen it happen when we're all with my family too. My grandma calls me by every other name under the sun except mine. I mean, it's reasonable to think that name would. Okay, what did the other comments say?
There's another comment that says, use your own money and you should surprise him in Dallas on his next trip. That is a good plan.
Just an excellent plan.
Just surprise, I'm here too.
But also go in prepared to get your feelings hurt.
Ooh, apparently the original poster responded to that with, he's supposed to leave tonight. I can visit him tomorrow since I have time. And somebody else was like, well, I would show up after work at his apartment and see if his assistant is actually staying in a hotel. OP responded, yeah, I just booked a ticket. I won't mind spending a day or two in Dallas myself if everything is like he says it is. So at least they're looking at it positively. They're like, hey, I'm going to go to Dallas, try to see what's going on with my boyfriend, and hey, I'm going to be in Dallas.
I'm fully prepared for this update to hurt my feelings.
Let's see. And they're like, do you have keys to the apartment? I'd go there, hang out, and wait for him to get home, for a surprise. OP responded to that with, I don't have the keys to that apartment. I can visit him at nighttime. He should be home alone at that time. Should be home alone.
Operative word there, should.
Okay, so that was April 27th. Mm-hmm. So 3 weeks later, May 16th, OP posted an update. A lot to unwrap here, but I'll start by thanking those who decided to try to help me out here. He came from the last trip, and when he went again, I decided to go. When I went to his apartment, I found her there, along with some other people. His coworkers were all planning to go out. I did make up a story while I was there to make sure he wasn't embarrassed in front of his coworker, because I stormed in his apartment, and I think that worked. They all went out after that. He stayed back, and we had a fight because, according to him, I just humiliated him in front of his colleagues. Right now, things are tense between us. He stayed back in Dallas, saying he needs some space, and we haven't talked after that. I don't know if I was trying to catch him in the act or not, but it didn't work out, and now I feel 100 times worse. I regret telling my mom about this because she sent a VN to him and told him to stop being
a voice note, maybe?
A voicemail, probably, yeah. And told him to stop being a baby, and nothing would have happened if he didn't say another woman's name. He sent me the voicemail my mom sent him. I did confront my mom about this, and she did apologize to him. Now I feel like maybe it was an honest mistake on his part, and that I blew it out of proportion. Waiting on him to come back so we could talk it out and fix this and move forward. Just a little update. Things didn't go well like I wanted to. OP puts in an edit. Forgot to mention my boyfriend told me that he told his assistant about this, and she made the same mistake a while back with her flame because they refer to each other a lot. They put in another edit. He left his Mac at home, so I decided to see if he was talking to her or not. I just opened his WhatsApp, and he's not talking to her, but his friends are all telling him to break up with me. Like, I didn't even do anything drastic. His chat with his assistant is work-related, but I'm disturbed by what his friends takes. Looks like a breakup is about to happen. I let him break up with me because I think I get closure that way.
So she's just gonna let him break up with her? That she's not gonna try to, like,
yeah, just
fix
the last edit here is reading his chat for a while, and the last thing he said was, "I'll end it when I see her next." So it's over, pretty much.
Oops.
So this is really confusing. So basically, OP originally thought he was cheating on her, and then, or cheating on, yeah, her. And then OP went to Dallas to try to get some confirmation. Turns out nothing was going on. And then the guy blew up saying that he felt humiliated. And now basically things are done. Like, as far as them, they're onion rings, kind of.
I mean, yeah, I guess I get that. It sucks, but also, like I said in the beginning, he immediately seemed just as surprised as she was. He was very apologetic. He was like, go through everything you want. Like, I promise this isn't happening. Like, it was just an honest slip up. That to me doesn't seem like the behavior of a guilty conscience. You know what I mean? Yeah. It seemed like he immediately tried to make things right. And it sounds to me like OP is a little insecure.
I mean, I don't blame OP for, being suspicious. Like, I don't blame them at all for how they reacted. I mean, it could have gone way better, but I don't blame them for just being like, is everything? But that's a conversation. That's a conversation you two have.
I don't blame OP for having doubts. I totally get that. I've been in that position before, and it fucking sucks.
Absolutely.
But also, if he immediately is like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I am so sorry. It's not what you think it is. Go through my phone, go through my computer, go through my messages, like, whatever. Especially if you work that, and it sounds like he works pretty closely with this colleague. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand being insecure and being unsure. But it also comes back to, you have to have that conversation with your partner. You have to sit down and say, listen, I know that you're telling me this, but this is in my head and it's going to take me some time, whatever. Because especially since OP said, I never thought that he could do this. Well, clearly he didn't.
Or at least there's nothing has happened.
Right.
Like, it could be that.
And unfortunately, the insecurity just pushed him further away.
It could be that the boyfriend and this colleague maybe do have some feelings for each other, but they knew that, they're with somebody, so they can't.
I don't even think it's that, because OP said that he told his colleague about it, and she was like, oh yeah, that happened to me once too. Like, it sucks. Like,
I'm just thinking of, like, a scenario here, like, so OP and their boyfriend break up, and something happens with the colleague, and now who's getting together? The boyfriend and the colleague.
Well, no, because the colleague's in a relationship.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if something happened with the colleague between their partner or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's their prerogative if they're both single and they want to give it a go.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing, but
that doesn't necessarily mean that he cheated to begin with.
I don't know. I think the whole thing was just messy, and I guess that would give both OP and the ex-boyfriend in this case just, kind of time to reflect and like, hey, maybe, come back together and say like, hey, sorry this happened, sorry this went the way it was. Can we try again?
Well, and maybe and we don't know what really happened. Maybe once he got home or saw her again or whatever and tried to break up with her, she was just like, let's have a conversation first, and then, Yeah,
I did that.
Either way, it just sounds to me like OOP is kind of insecure and not really wanting to take things at face value.
So that's always
which
a tough
I'm not
break.
blaming them for. I totally understand that, but
like, and I did the whole thing, like the whole cheating thing. Like it's definitely a horrible experience. I wish it on. I don't wish it on anybody. No. Like I've been through it. It sucks, and it takes more forms than just somebody sleeping with somebody else.
Well, I think everybody's been cheated on at one point or another.
Yeah, because it takes multiple forms, not just like somebody sleeping with somebody else. But if you're like, if you become more emotionally invested in somebody other than your partner. But
like I think I've always been a proponent for, if there's something wrong in the relationship, address it. And if you address it and nothing changes, address it again. And if you address it again and still nothing changes, then make the decision to leave.
Yeah, it's definitely like a rule.
There's no point in two people being miserable for no reason.
It's definitely a rule of threes in that whole situation. Like, first time, like, okay, this is weird, but let's do something to change it. Second time, like, okay, we need to change it or something else is happening. But the third time it happens is like, okay, obviously this is going nowhere.
Well, right, and it sucks because it's never easy to be in the position of, okay, I know that we've talked about this. I know I have explained to you how this makes me feel, and you clearly, it doesn't seem like you care enough to change it, or it doesn't seem that you care enough to listen, and nobody likes getting broken up with. I mean, whether you're dating or married or engaged or whatever, it's never just a clean break. But eventually, you have to do what's best for you, no matter who else it hurts.
I think that's why, and I'm not wishing this at all because I wish this, a long, happy life. Like, you're stuck with me until you're dead.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But
I'm just kidding.
Heaven forbid something happen, I don't think I would do dating again. Because it's such a messy environment.
God, dating sucks.
Yeah, it's such a messy environment. And like, if something happened to us, I'd be like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm just going to rely on myself.
I'll be an old spinster.
I'll just be the weird old man living by himself. Because dating sucks, especially in this day and age with all these fucking Gen Alpha kids.
I know. I watched not my younger siblings anymore because they're both engaged, but I watched my younger siblings date for a while, and I was like, that seems like a nightmare, actually.
Well, especially dating nowadays. I know I don't have
and the hookup culture.
No, do I got enough Riz to get somebody else?
I can tell you right now with all sincerity.
I can tell you with all sincerity, I agree with you.
I would never leave my house, to be honest. I'd be like, fuck y'all.
Rizzed up like a Sigma Alpha. Sheesh. Every Gen Alpha kid, every teenager that's possibly listening to this just fucking cringed so hard I heard teeth break.
I cringed so hard I broke teeth.
Yeah, that's the last story I got. I was trying to find another one, but there's just nothing. Or at least nothing worth talking about.
That first one pissed me off more than the second one.
The stealing the money one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
that one's going to be a lot harder to recover from.
Right. But at least the second one, that was like, oh, okay, we're broken up. Like, okay, either
it sounds like in the second one, it sounds like OP just kind of accepted the consequences of their own actions, which I do appreciate. But
yeah, OP was like, oh, we're gonna break up. All right.
Consequences chasing me.
Comes a consequences of my actions chasing me right now.
But but that first one really just made my blood boil.
Yeah, I really hope everything works out for the first LP.
I mean, court cases are public domain.
Yeah, I'm not willing to do that deep dive right now. But that's all we got for Best of Redditor updates. I don't know what we're gonna do. Actually, I do know what we're gonna do for the last episode, but you guys are just gonna have to wait and see.
It's gonna be good. A little teaser.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Do positive things out there. Drink plenty of water. Interact on all socials and whatnot. I've been Cameron.
I've been Kate.
And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Nerds out.